Hello, we're live. I will be right back.
I actually think, because the other night, both of you were talking about Critical Role when I was on sprints, and then it all of a sudden started showing up in my YouTube stream. And I was like, clearly, we have put that into the universe.
Yeah, we have affected your algorithm.
So I went to go get the How Do You Want to Do This hoodie and didn't get that, but I did get this.
Oh my gosh. I love it.
I got that, and then I got this because, like, that one, I know I've just gotten to the part where you got that. I don't think we've gotten that. No, we just got to the part where that joke starts, but I also got this one.
Yes.
I'm so happy. They make me very happy.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
And then I ordered some Taylor Swift merch last night, too.
I'm still deciding what I want on Taylor Swift merch.
Here's the thing. I love the designs that have her face on them.
Yeah.
They're great designs. I don't really want to wear most of them.
That makes sense. I can understand what you're saying.
Like I did go and I ordered the heathered gray t-shirt that has the Eras thing on it. And then I do want to get a hoodie, but I don't particularly like any of the hoodies that she has. I like the blue one. And if it's still there, I might get the blue one, but I also want to buy some stuff for tour. So
yeah. So I know I really like the t-shirts that say all the albums on the back, but I just haven't decided.
Which ones are those?
I think there's might be the black and the cream one that just say the albums rather than the tour dates.
See, that's the kind of ones that I like, or like without the tours dates on them, because then it's like I feel like it's more like for every time, you know.
I would like that if it had a different design on it, because I don't want to have two shirts with the same design, and I would rather have the tour dates, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, Mika, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Glad to see you. We will probably be a little bit sparse. It'll probably be just a few of us today because I know they've got Rom-Comathon sprints about to go up here soon as well. However, I like consistency and I like being able to do things with the rest of my day.
I totally understand. I kind of thought that Tuesday night because I sprint every Tuesday night, but I was like, everyone's doing Valentine's sprints. But I was like, you know what? It's my normal time, whatever.
Yeah.
Just go with it.
Yeah.
Anyways, hello, Nadine. Welcome. Thank you for joining us again. Glad to see you. Anyways, I may have to look at that because there's nothing wrong with owning the same shirt in multiple colors. But also, I kind of want I want a different design than that. There are elements that if it the black sweatshirt with the Midnights thing on, if it had been just her, it's such a good design though.
I'm assuming there's going to be more.
I am assuming there is going to be more, so I'm trying not to go too crazy. This is the first time this year and last year, the first time that I have been able. I also really like the beige one that has that Eras graphic on it. I might get that one at some point. This is the first time that I've actually been able to spend money on kind of superfluous stuff like this. You know?
Yeah.
Let me see. Oh, I see what you're talking about. Yeah, it's got the albums and it's got the cities for the tour.
Yeah.
So, which I like. That's cool. Maybe I should have gotten that one. Yeah, I kind of should have. But I like the gray color better.
You got to pick your colors sometimes.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get the beige one is nice. Maybe I'll get the beige one and then I'll sell the gray one in 5 years for a lot of money. Because I have to go fast usually because I have to get the extra small.
Oh yeah.
The extra small and the 4XL are always the ones that go real fast.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll see if I can cancel my order and get the beige one because I actually do like having the albums on the back too, and I don't hate the beige. That actually is it does pop a bit better. I'm sorry, these are very important decisions. What are we all reading this morning?
All this talk of Eras reminded me that I have to submit my books today.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I have to do that.
So I was like, this is actually a really good conversation and a reminder to maybe do that.
Michelle, Hey, welcome. Thank you for joining us. We're talking about Taylor Swift and her new merch that just dropped. And I may have to cancel my order and get a different shirt. I did not realize there was a difference between the backs. This is why you do your research, people.
Look, I don't think I would have noticed. Someone else brought it to my attention, and I was like, oh, now I have to make choices. Even more choices.
Honestly, not all of them are winners, Michelle. Not all of them are winners. Yeah. I like the t-shirts that have like the Era's kind of graphic on it.
Mm-hmm.
And that black hoodie is a fantastic looking design. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
On a design perspective, we were just talking about this. I don't like if I'm going to have Taylor's face on my body, it needs to be that. I have one of the Era, like I have a couple of things actually coming from her, I think. So yeah, we'll see. I've got like her orders ship out so slowly.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've got stuff that's just now coming to me from stuff I bought in November. And then when she had like the Eras Tour t-shirt that had all of her like the illustrations on it, I have a sweatshirt coming for that.
Mm-hmm. I did love that.
My problem is I love hoodies. I don't need many of them.
I have so many
I would
hoodies.
say living in Florida, hoodies are not as necessary.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if I'm going to drop $75 for a hoodie, it is going to be at tour, at the show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, anyways, like you want me to pay that? I mean, I can't. I paid a lot of money for this too.
Mm-hmm.
But 10, 13 years ago, my first and only football game that I've been to. Yeah, that's the way I'm kind of approach. If it's anything that I absolutely, I'm like I have to have this, I will buy it now. If it's like, oh, that's nice, I think it's cool, but I can wait till tour to buy it in person and ship it back to Florida, I'm going to wait till tour because I am assuming she'll have some interesting stuff for tour too.
I hope so. It's going to be. She's going to have so much merch. So
I honestly feel like they should open early just so people can go shopping for their merch. Yeah. And she better have brought a lot. She really, somebody needs to tell her, like, you need to make sure that your sizes on either end, you are stocking a lot. So anyways, which is cool that she's got 3XL and 4XL at least as options. Because I know sometimes it's hard to find. Critical Role had that issue when they first started getting some of like the 2, 3, and 4XL sizes. Finding vendors who would work with them that had those sizes. Yeah, was a pain. Okay, anyways, sorry, I'm spiraling. Everything's fine. How is everyone's morning going? Because mine, it's okay. It was going well until the post office overcharged me to ship a book.
I saw that on your Twitter. I was like, oh no.
I was like, you motherfuckers. Like, I should not have to ask specifically for media mail if I say I am shipping a book. And I've had before, it's been a while since I've done this, so I wasn't sure if media mail was still an option, which valid. Okay, fine. Ridiculous, but okay, fine. And I was like, I need to get this to Utah the cheapest way possible. And she's like, yeah, okay, it's going to be $19. And I was like, are you sure that's the cheapest way? And she's like, yeah, to ship it this way. Yeah, that's the cheapest way. And she didn't even suggest, oh, you could do media mail. And I don't know if that was the size of the box that I've used, but I've shipped books in boxes that size before. And I checked their guidelines. There was nothing to say, you have to ship in a specific box. So I paid $20 to ship something. That's
Canadian shipping prices. I'm like, which I know I pay it because I have no choice, but I know how ridiculous it is.
Yeah, and if I was shipping it to Canada, I would be fine with that.
Yeah,
but
media mail all over the country, not that.
Media
not even
mail
close.
would have been $4.
Yeah,
she didn't even offer media mail as an option. That is what bugs me. So I may have tapped in to the Karen jeans that I inherited from my mother to leave them a review. And I am considering actually going and leaving a Google review as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because that employee lied to my face.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry she did. Or they had not educated her. And I'm not going to name anybody. I just want the post office to make sure they know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. But I left they have a survey and I did their survey. It's fine. I wasn't it's one of those things I'm not going to argue in the moment. Mm-hmm. I know I've been there. I've worked that job. Sometimes you don't have any control.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I was like, you know what? It's not worth it to argue. I'm just going to pay this and go.
Yeah.
So anyways, but I'm working. How about you guys? It's not really all about Margaret.
It's been a good morning, other than we had a huge ice storm here last night. Ooh. So it was like freezing rain for like 3 hours, 4 hours. Ugh. So the morning was just like a slow start of like, let's wait till it warms up and everything thaws before I go anywhere. Because I'm not driving on that.
I was looking through old messages with in a group I am with Cal because I needed to send the group a message. And Cal was like apologizing for going hunting on my birthday. I was like, you are not in any physical place. Like the only person that needs to apologize is my brother because he's not here. You're not in any, there's no physical way for you to be, like if there was a physical way for you to be here on my birthday, I might be mad.
Yeah.
But I'm not mad about this. And then Cal responded with like, oh, one day I'll take you hunting in December. Or one day we'll go hunting for your birthday. I was like, not in December, you won't. I'll go hunting with you. Not when there is snow involved.
Not in the winter. Not happening.
So, anyways, I don't envy you guys.
Yeah.
Honestly, we've had a pretty good winter. This is like only the second storm we've had here. Mm-hmm. So it was 13 degrees the day before, so I cannot complain. Mm-hmm. But it was like, oh no. I'd rather snow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Than ice.
Ice is a hazard too.
Because ice is just, it makes it really hard to drive. And I'm like, do not lose power. Do not lose power.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny. I don't mind not having as cold winters as we used to probably about 5-10 years ago. Mm-hmm. But I am also very concerned that Florida doesn't get, like, I'm like, we used to have winter, like we used to have cold from it'd be off and on, but you would hit a point in December, from December through February, where it was cold weather and you did need to wear some of your probably fall clothes, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
and now we get like 3 weeks every now and then.
Yeah.
What about you, Julie?
Yeah. It was cold here this morning too. I think it said it felt like 16 degrees, so it's pretty chilly for us. But
yeah, we had a slight cold snap, but like we're talking like the mid 50s in Fahrenheit. So we closed our windows. Mika is in here reminding us that time zones are a thing. It's 5 p.m. where they are, and I'm already so tired, but I think that's because I've been translating a text about behaviorism in the context of lucid dreaming research.
Ooh.
Is that academic, or do you work in like psychology or mental health? That's interesting.
Uh-huh.
Or that could be, you could be translating it yourself.
Just for fun.
For your own interest. I know I probably would do that if I still spoke anything other than English.
Mm-hmm.
So
I feel like that topic would be interesting.
It is. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
I had a dream this morning that was so real that I could physically feel my dog like curling up behind me. It was weird.
Oh, yeah.
I have been having more and more dreams about my dog who has been gone for 10 years at this point. I think. No. 8. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Time is weird. So what are we reading this morning? What are we working on? What are we up to?
I'm starting The Proposal.
Oh,
by Hillary.
That's my favorite book in the series so far.
Is it? Because I've heard it's not the best one, so that makes me more excited to read it because Carlos was my favorite character from the first.
Yes,
So I was like, this should be good.
I enjoyed the wedding date. I enjoyed the wedding party. I enjoyed Royal Holiday. I haven't gotten any further because romance is not something I read on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
But The Proposal was my favorite of the 4.
Okay, well that makes me even more excited to read it then.
So
it does not show up on camera well at all.
Yeah,
it's bright baby blue color.
Yeah. I mean, I can see why like romance books are so personal.
Mhm.
It's so
So
true. It's
Yeah.
so true.
Like I have friends who don't like anything that has like or are wary of like second chance romances because a lot of time they don't work for them because
Mhm.
of personal experience. That's a valid reason.
Absolutely.
I love second chance romance.
Mhm.
Now those can be kind of dicey, but yeah. So
Yeah.
anyways, what about you, Julie?
I am kind of switching back and forth. I am physically reading Song of Achilles, which is very shiny.
Yeah.
And then my audiobook is Sweep and Peace. So it'll just depend on which one I want to. I'll probably just flop back and forth.
Nice. I am not posting anything, but I am going to be, because for a video project I'm doing, I do need to actually get caught up on some of the footage that I have recorded for this vlog, so I can because it's been so long since I've recorded a clip that I've kind of forgotten what I'm doing or where I am or what is going on with the universe. And so I need to. I
can relate.
Yeah, I'm gonna try, because it's gonna be a long vlog, so I am going to try and kind of edit it, at least get it uploaded and get some of it edited and all of that. But I'm going to be going back and forth between a couple because I also need to read the books for this project. So I have Chain of Iron for Should I Need an Audiobook. And then I'm also going to be working on The Cartographers by Pang Shepherd while I am not. So anyways.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jessica. Oh, here, let's go up because I know Nadim already told us. Nadim is reading A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens.
Nice.
I read that one. I liked that one. Not my favorite. My favorite by him is actually weirdly Great Expectations.
Yeah, I like Great Expectations.
I know I have.
Yeah. No, go ahead,
I know I have read it, but I do not remember anything about it.
Well,
nothing.
It's funny because it was like, considering the fact that the way the romance goes in that book, and there's very little interaction between the two romantic leads. It makes no sense that I love it. But the way it like the ending, and specifically the final line, wrapped it up so well and so nicely and just made this beautiful picture of what happens next. And I was like, I love this. It's so romantic. So, Jessica is reading The Blade Itself on this cold morning. I actually had to break out the long pants from when I went jogging this morning. So, and then Mika is okay. So Mika says, I'm translating a German book about lucid dreaming to English. It was written in the early 80s, and the author committed suicide about 20 years ago. His friend and co-author wants to give his book an international audience.
Neat.
Nice. That's cool. I mean, that's the nice thing about books, is it your impact lives on. You know? So that's yeah. I'm not a scientist, just a lucid dreamer. You know what? If we didn't have lucid dreamers, there would be no science for the scientists to science.
True.
So, okay. Alrighty. I should probably close the Taylor Swift store so it doesn't tempt me, because there's a part of me that just wants to buy all of it just to have all of it and then sell it at exorbitant prices in 20 years.
It's an investment.
It's an investment. I mean, right?
Yeah.
Oh
totally.
my God. My dad still talks about the baseball cards that he has, that as a child he didn't keep neat, and so his mother threw them all out. We would be rolling in money.
I kind of feel like my TY is from back in the day. I'm like, had I kept those, would I be rich now?
I still have every single one of mine. They are sitting under my bed, and it's like, do I want to sell these? Because I have some that would be valuable. I have the Princess Di Bear. I have a couple of the white ones.
Yep.
And those go for really, like, if you have one of like the swan, if you have the unicorn, especially if you have an early unicorn, any of the ones that are like light colored and they're still in good shape.
Yeah.
You're going to make so much money on those. And
Wow.
then like, I don't know, I haven't gone through, but there is a part of me that really just wants to be like, you know what? I'm not gonna like part of me wants to hold on to them, and part of me is like, you are never ever going to do anything with these ever in your life.
Yeah.
So why are you still holding on to them?
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, shall we do some plenty spins? Let's see, share screen. I've got my timer up.
Perfect.
Amazing.
Okay, let's get this. Now that that's there, we can full screen it. Oh, apparently my SEO score on this is terrible. I should fix that at some point. But I don't care. I did not. Did I ask you to play? No, I did not.
It just wanted to get us going.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently.
Like, let's read, apparently.
All right.
Timer's ready to read.
Timer's
3, 2,
ready.
1, mute your mics. Welcome back, guys. So, who got the reading done?
I got a very small amount of reading done, and then my son decided that he wanted to throw a Wiggles concert and that I had to go attend that. And then I was like, I have 15 minutes, so you're going to have to make this a really fast concert.
That is so funny. I
was like, Emma's here and watching you, so she can be in the audience while I run away.
Funny. I sent the email asking to cancel the order and currently going through the shop, but I got distracted. Well, okay. I was gonna listen to my book as I was cataloging videos and going through, and I've caught up to now. Like, I haven't done any editing, but I know where I am, so I can continue on in this vlog. But I was like, no, I'm trying to organize my under bed and like find some craft that like I did for craft storage under there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I decided to look that up on YouTube. Nobody has anything that's useful. No, zero useful suggestions. Like, it's either all stuff that I already knew or stuff that doesn't, like, oh, here, this is a good way to store your shoes. I'm like, I'm not looking to store fucking shoes. I'm looking to store craft paper. Like, I'm thinking if I can just get one thing that I can put under my bed where all of my craft supplies go, they stop put all over my room in my office.
Mm-hmm. What about one of those under bed things?
Yeah, that's my immediate thing is to do like a really long under bed bin. Mm-hmm. But I want to I'm trying to come up with ideas to organize it because like I don't want it to just all be thrown in there. You know what I mean, Thor?
Because I use for me personally, I use a milk crate for all my scrapbook paper.
Yeah. I would not be able to do that on our hardwood floors. So, and it has to be something that I can move in and out underneath my bed without damaging the floors any more than Susie already damaged them by existing.
Could you get those like felt like for chairs and put it on the bottom of something like that?
I'm looking at like some canvas organizers. Primarily, I'm just looking for ideas for inside, so I kind of have an idea of what I need, but zero useful ideas. I do have
maybe look up some hardware stuff.
Yeah, I may look at that. I do have a crate for my recycle though that sits next to my desk. It does not have to move, so we're fine. Anyways, how did we do? I think Brittany got some like 5 minutes of reading done. It sounds like.
Yeah, it was. I think I read like 10 pages. Like I think I'm still in chapter 1. Like nothing. I made very small progress.
Nice.
I read about 30 pages or listened to 30 pages of Sweep and Peace, and I got 2 rows done.
Ooh,
so,
nice.
What are you making?
So this is a new project that I am going to make the Era's poster in blocks. So, like, if you've seen the Taylor Swift poster.
Ooh. Yeah.
But I'm just going to make it, so I'm not going to try to craft her face each time. I'm just making the colors, basically.
Yeah.
So I'm going to crochet each individual album color and then put it all together.
Nice. Yeah, we shall see. I've thought of projects to do like that. I wanted to do I almost, instead of doing my genre blanket, almost did like an Era's reading challenge. As I finished a prompt for a song, I would put it in a blanket.
Yeah.
But I haven't done anything really for the Era's reading challenge that I've read. Yeah. I have a few things to put in, but that's not much.
Yeah. So I just thought this would be fun and relatively easy because it's rectangles and squares.
Yeah, that sounds like it would be relatively easy. I'm still working on getting my genre blanket cat back up.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be me anytime I take on a genre blanket. I'd be like, I'm caught up. And then a month would go by and I'd be like, oh no.
Well, I was caught up, Brittany, but then remember I what's the word? Oh my God. Then I ripped it all out because
you restarted.
Oh yeah.
It's still slightly wonky on one end. Somehow I added a stitch in one of the rows, but we're just gonna go with it. I'm not ripping that back out again. But everything else so far, I still don't know how I did that, because I'm still at the point where I'm counting every 20 stitches, and we were even for the entire time.
Yeah.
Until we got to the one row, and I was like, okay, how are there 21 rows?
Oh.
Good night. Thank you so much for joining us. And Neva says, I'm going to bed now. Love you all, but I've been up for the last 24 hours for a whole book and a half of a second one and then a time, so that's great. Beautiful. I am considering doing something similar where like I sprint all day long, but I don't think I could do 24 hours.
I don't know. Every time Neva does it every month, I pop in for a little bit and I'm like, I don't know how you do this. Like I can't
And
do
Neva
it.
works night shift, right?
Neva, it does work back shifts. So I think it's easier because
that does something to your brain.
They're like used to being up in the middle of the night. Do you know what I mean? But still.
Yeah.
And like when Ari gets up, I'm like, oh, and you have a child to take care of. And I'm like, oh no, I can't. I'm always like, you're amazing, because I could not.
Nice.
Not.
Yeah, I pop in and see her doing it, and I'm just like, go, girl, go. But I could never.
Yeah, no,
I'm going to bed. Bye.
Yeah.
It does, when you have night shift or later shifts, it does do something to your, I don't like, because my dad did the same thing, and he would sleep during the day, but he was also like able to be up for both if he had to. But anyways, speaking of which, he is COVID free now.
Oh, good.
Finally tested negative, so I don't have to wear a mask everywhere now. That's great. Okay, so I think that catches. How did everyone in the chat do? I know we had a couple. Oh, hey, Roe joined us. Hello, Mr. Roe. Reading The Long Run by James Acker, a sporty gay YA rom-com
nice
romance. Liking it. Nice. I am officially ready to start. I think I'm doing like 15 minutes of work that I have to move around for, and then I'm going to read The Cartographer. So we'll see how that goes. What about you, Thor? You joined us. Hi.
Yeah, I'm making cake for someone's birthday party today.
Nice. What time is his party? At some point.
It's at like, I don't know, noon 1, I think, 2. My mom is doing all the cooking and stuff, so
yeah, it is what I say it is.
Amazing.
Nice. Okay. Shall we sprint again? I think we shall. Give me just a second. Let me reset this. But technically, I have the timer, but we don't have a super active chat, so. All right, let's pull this back up. Oh, Max says happy birthday to Soren.
Thanks. His birthday was on January 30th, actually, but we're just now having a party.
I mean, Thor, we had my birthday anytime between January and March.
But we're keeping it really low key because, to be truthfully honest, like, having too many people around like really overwhelms him.
Yeah, I totally get that.
And like, it's just gonna be my mom and my aunt, because like on Calvin's side, like for some reason, whenever him and Soren, like whenever his mom and Soren get in the same room, Soren's like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to deal with it. So I'm like, we're just gonna keep it
low key, no stress. Yeah,
that makes sense.
He's going to be eating chicken nuggets anyway, so it doesn't
That sounds
matter.
like a great birthday.
Yeah.
Chicken nuggets
it's gratuitous. It's really just for us.
It's an excuse for the adults to hang out.
Yeah, that's also true.
That's fun. I mean, I think a lot of the time kids' birthdays end up being that.
My birthdays were always like family only birthdays, and it wasn't until I was like 16, I think, that my mom was like, you can invite a friend.
See, we'd have like the day of, my family and I we for both of us, we do a little something like have dinner or something, like we get like a couple presents, and then we'd have our party later. So And apparently my mother was better about keeping up with my birthday parties than my brother's.
He's alive. He was born. Get over it.
I feel like she felt guilt for having a child 2 days after Christmas, and so she was compensating for that and did not need to for him.
We don't want to overshadow God.
Anyways, like she was really great about making sure people didn't try to do the here's your present for birthday and Christmas, have fun.
Yeah.
And all of that stuff. But I think she because she knew that my birthday was more likely to be overlooked by people, she put more effort into making sure that my birthday happened. And then now my brother doesn't even live here, and he's never here during his birthday. So
tomato potato.
Yeah. All right. Let us 3, 2, 1. Mute the mics. I guess it helps if I unmute my mic first. Hey, Brianna, welcome. Good to see you. Maybe it wants to load. There we go. I read 8 pages.
I had a very similar amount of sprints. I had to go back and watch more concert, and then I got about 10 more pages.
That's funny. I can't remember what it was I wanted to wrap up before. Oh, I had to complete my order.
Mm.
And then, because I hadn't checked my bank account beforehand, I had to transfer money into my bank account. So, anyways, it's fine. How did everyone else do?
I think I did like 20 more pages of this.
Nice.
So, yeah.
This is interesting. This is giving me like the librarian from The Mummy, whose name I can't remember, meets National Treasure kind of feels.
Ooh.
So, just kind
Evie?
of Evie, yes. Like I'm feeling kind of Evie vibes, only she's a little bit more put together and like serious, and maybe a little less impressed with her. Like a little less Victorian, I guess.
Fair enough.
But it's about a girl who's estranged from her dad because of an incident that we don't know about. I suspect that he's been pushing her away because the way her mom died was suspicious, and he's afraid she will get involved in that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, we'll see if that's correct. But I updated the vlog so we can continue on with this project, and now we're here. So, how did... Rose says, I watched Bookish Bethany's HarperCollins book review, so happy their union now has a better deal.
Yes.
I will be filming mine eventually. One is already filmed, because I filmed the Poppy War, my reaction to the Poppy War, before, just in case, because they were talking, they thought they were going to have a deal at the end of December, and they didn't. And then Brianna says, I just filmed mine this morning. You have been very productive. Oh, well, it's almost 1 o'clock where I am. Yeah, you've been that's like 11 a.m., Brianna. You've done so much before 11 a.m. because your dogs get you up at 5. That's fine. I forget that some people get up earlier than I do. So anyways. Oh, and we finished folding the socks. So there's that. But how... Anybody else have anything to chime in? How is baking the cake going, Thor?
I actually have to check on it right now.
Right now.
I'm gonna go do that.
All right, so let's update on the yummy things.
Yes.
I should probably pause.
Like, speaking of the cake, I should probably look at that.
I should probably make sure that is not turning into fire in my oven. So.
Yes.
Oh, okay. 7 a.m. is not quite as bad as 5 a.m. 7 a.m. Brianna says, because it's chaos in this house this week, so I started at 7 a.m.
This is like my life, though.
Yeah.
It's chaos and early starts.
On a weekend, but I also recognize that I don't have anyone that needs me to feed them.
Yeah, that's why I have to get up.
Yeah.
I have people to feed and dress and, get a move on.
Yeah.
When we had Susie for like the first year or so, when she was a puppy, before she kind of slowly, once she got past where she could hold her pee all night, she slowly got to like, oh, okay, you don't get up until like 11 on Saturdays. That's cool. We can do that. But I would get up at like 7 a.m. take her out because we don't have a fenced in yard, so I would have to physically take her out, come back, and then crash on the couch for another 2 hours. So, how is the cake doing?
It is good. So it's
Yay.
cool.
What kind of cake is it? I meant to ask.
Oh, it's just a chocolate cake.
Ooh,
Nice.
Yum.
And then, are you guys gonna do like icing, or are you anti-icing people?
I actually growing up, like, our icing always used to be like just my pops always used to like his icing like just a little bit, like a little layer on there. So that's what it was. It was just like a thin layer. It was basically like a crumb layer where you could still see the cake itself. And so it wasn't very thick. So I always kind of like it like just a little bit more, but like not too much. So like whenever I go to like a function and there's like a gigantic cake and the it's like this thick, and I'm always like, I only want like this much, not like this, like this.
Yeah.
I am I understand that my love of icing is not universal, but I'm one of those. I'm like, cake is I mean, there's such a thing as too much icing. Don't get me wrong, but cake is a method of delivering icing to my mouth.
I think that whoever invented better cream, not buttercream, better cream needs to get punched in the freaking face.
The fuck is that?
I hate that shit.
I was just about to ask, what is that?
I don't know either.
I think it's like, I don't know, some kind of a whipped cream combo, because every time I just hate it. I hate it so much.
No.
I mean, I always have to find an alternative because, you know, dairy. But oh my god, that is no thank you. That sounds like no fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only get cakes if I make them myself, because most places will use stuff that I can't eat. Now, I do know that there are certain Publixes, like if you find a Publix that is in like a really heavily Jewish community, there'll be kosher cakes that you can get. There's a limit to like how much, because they have to do it with without like egg and some other stuff. And there's a little bit more ability. They have the skills to customize it a little bit better. But there's only so much you can do with that cake, because it's not going to have the binding structure that like you get with the eggs. So, but that's fine. That's fine with me. So anyways, I haven't made myself a cake in a while though, because it has to go in the fridge and we don't have a lot of room in our fridge. So anyways, all right, shall we start another sprint, do you think?
Fingers crossed I'll actually read in this one.
Fingers crossed you will actually read in this. Okay, let me get it reset. All right. Let's get this back in. I don't know why I'm using this computer, because I'm not. Oh, I was going to edit, and then I decided not to. Never mind. Like, that's why I'm using this computer.
Sometimes that's how it goes.
Yeah.
I just have the Chromebook set up here because it works well enough for live shows. The only thing is that everything takes a little bit longer. Like, and the mouse pad is shit, so I have to use this. And again, so that takes. Okay, so let me get back over to it. 3, 2, 1, and mute your mics. Welcome back, guys.
Hello.
Like I read more that time, although I was still kind of distracted because I went and made food. But I don't know if I read more that time.
I did read in that sprint, so I'm happy with that.
Good, good,
Yay.
Good. Let me pause this thing. Oh, I didn't. Let's see. Yeah, I read 9 pages that time instead of 8. How did everyone else do?
I think it was about 40 pages of clean sweep or sweep and piece. Apparently, I'm not going to switch over to this today.
Oh, okay. You know,
That's okay.
How it works.
I think I'm at the part where this is going to start to get
Sad. Yeah.
So I'm sort of avoiding it.
Fair.
I don't blame you. I have done that a time or two. So let's see. Jen has joined us. Have been cleaning my room for 2 hours and now I'm taking a break. Welcome, welcome. We're glad to have you. Brianna listened to 10% of Voices in the Snow while packing up Pango books. Nice. I have a whole bunch of books that I need to just get up on Pango and get rid of them because I'm not.
I wish we had Pango. I'm like, please come to Canada. I want.
Yeah. I remember that I used to do when Amazon was still like half price books and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I used to sell a lot on there. So especially like school books. College textbooks, they go pretty well. Mika reads today is one of those days when something comes up every time I want to start reading. I still have not read a single page. That has been me. Like every time we go do sprints, I'm like, oh, I should do this real quick before I sit down to read. And then it's 15 minutes left when I get back. So cool. And Nadeem has read 15 pages. I mean, when you're reading Dickens, that's a pretty decent chunk.
I was gonna say, aren't you reading Dickens? Yeah.
That's a lot of reading because Mr. Dickens.
Those are dense. That's a dense 15 pages.
Mr. Dickens was getting paid by the word, and you could tell. Not that he did it poorly, but he used a lot of words.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, but I'm liking it so far. I know there has to be some sort of fantasy or sci-fi aspect, but right now we're mostly just dealing with this girl who her father worked for the New York Public Library and she just found out he was dead. Oh. And she's found that he has this really cheap like gas station map of New York City. And she's like, why is this in your really special binder that you got from Mom?
Mm-hmm. I want this book.
I think it's already on my TBR. Like when you talked about it, I was like, I feel like but now I'm like, maybe I should double check.
Yeah. It's been out for a hot minute. I do know that like a lot of people it came out last year. I know for a lot of people it was a little bit too slow. Like there wasn't enough plot for them. But I'm enjoying it so far.
I'm okay with a character-focused book. Like that doesn't bother me. I'm not a person who needs like a ton of plot.
Mm-hmm. You know what? You might be the person that I was thinking of. Brianna says, is this the cartographers? I haven't gotten to a point where I'm bored yet. But then we did just discover a murder and a mysterious map.
Ooh.
So we'll see if she keeps that up for the rest of this. I've heard really good stuff about her first book. Mm-hmm. So
I'm intrigued.
Me too.
I can't remember if it was you, Brianna, or someone else that like had read the cartographers and they were like, nothing happened.
See, I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay. That was my thing because everyone with Midnight and Everwood was like, they just walk. I'm like, that's okay. I'm okay if they're just walking as long as it's like a good character focused. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it comes down to number one, the tastes of the reader, and number two, how you do it. Because like I've had authors do stuff that I was not particularly like typically I want to be invested in the characters more than I want to be invested in anything. And if I'm invested in the characters or there's like I'm invested in what is happening, like I'm interested in what the characters are discovering, I will keep going. Mm-hmm. Well, you are about to hear about it some more. Brianna says I haven't read it, but I have heard about it. But like a lot of it I think has to do with execution because I think there are levels of writing that work for some people and don't work for others, and it's more likely to be like a 50-50 split. And then I think there are levels of writing where it's going to work for most people because it is either so well done or that kind of thing. Even if it's not scratching a particular itch for them, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, what do we got here, by the way? Like plot versus character focused reading. I think Brittany, you said you fall on the character.
I mean, I don't mind a good plot. Like, I'm fine if that is what it is. But like, if there is no plot, as long as it's a good, like, really deep dive into the characters and they're doing a lot of character development, I'm okay with there not being a ton of plot in a book. I know that not everybody is, though. They're like, nothing's happened. And I'm like, that's okay.
It's funny because I feel like emotional development can be a plot in and of itself, but I feel like a lot of the book community does not recognize that as a plot. They're like, oh, they didn't do anything. But I was like, yes, but this was there are internally focused characters or books and externally focused books. And this was an internally focused book.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I'm here for the characters. That's why I'm here. So if nothing's really happening, it's okay. I just need to have some good characters, like have things happening.
I need at least someone I am either interested in or rooting for.
Exactly. Yeah.
I can even hate them as long as I love to hate them. Like a good villain is fine by me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like The Wife Upstairs, I just read by Rachel Hawkins. It's a retelling of Jane Eyre, and like I didn't like any of the characters, but it was compelling. Like, it's that meme where, like, whatever, and I'm like, compels me, though. Like, they were all terrible people. I was like, I'm not rooting for any of you. You could all die, and I wouldn't care.
They were all horrible. They were horrible.
They really were.
But I loved the ending so much that I just was like, okay with it.
See, it's funny. I didn't like certain aspects of the ending, but I also liked the original Jane Eyre.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I like that pairing. But I like... The main character, Jane as a character, at least made sense why she was so awful. And so I could sympathize with her, even if I didn't like her.
Yeah.
So, what about you, Thor?
The cake is cooled now, but I'm doing research for a secret video that I'm doing.
Ooh.
Maybe I will finally be watching book 2 begin by that point.
I mean, considering it'll probably come out like November, December, yeah.
Oh, I might be on the Mighty 9 by then. Who knows? So, but what about you for when it comes to plot versus character?
See, I like character. I like characters a lot, but there still needs to be a plot. If there's nothing going on, then I'm like, what are you writing?
Why am I here?
Yeah. But as long as we get from like point A to point B.
Nice.
I think a good testament of that is Six of Crows, because like it shows you all of these characters and their dynamics and everything like that, even though they're like, we're just on a boat for like this much of the book.
Yeah. I feel like if you get me far enough into a series, I'm not going to care about plot. I will care a little bit about the plot if we are doing like at the beginning of the series. I have had places where I'm like, you know what? I love these characters. I don't really care about the pacing issues that are here, but I can see how this would not work for somebody. Or I've had books where I've been like, oh no, I can see why people would be bored reading this or feel like nothing is happening because there's so much time between like plot points. It's funny because I've read books where it's like this, and I didn't know this, but this feels like a D&D campaign, like an actual play where you'll have like the characters going faffing off and doing weird stuff to like fetch items and do stuff and like no progression in the actual plot. It's been really interesting comparing Vox Machina, like the TV show, to the
good old side quests
to the original campaign. So there is that, but like there's also a point where you will have me so invested in the characters you could write a phone book with their names in it and I would read every single name.
Yeah, that's like Becky Chambers. Her plots are like this big. Like the plots are like not there, but I love the characters.
Yeah.
And there's enough there to like string it all together.
Yeah.
But like I understand why people are like, what is this?
The only thing that bothers me in character focus is sometimes when you set up a character to be one thing and then they do something that I just cannot even like it doesn't make sense with who they are.
Yeah.
Then I'm just like, no, but they wouldn't do that.
If you can give like, I think most people are capable of a lot of stuff we wouldn't think they are if you get them in the right scenario, but you have to get them in the right scenario.
Right. Yes.
Let's see. Rose says, if I don't care about the characters, I DNF so easily. Yeah. How long, let me ask you this, Ro, how long do you give them to make you care about the characters? Because I find that a lot of the time it does take me a bit longer to get to where I care about the characters, especially if it's a longer book.
I usually will try and get to 50% before I decide to DNF. Now that depends on how long the book is. If it's really chunky, then no.
I usually, depending on the length of the book, and like the genre, try to give it to like 50 to 100 pages. However, I don't really DNF stuff. Like they're very, like you have to like offend me or have done something extremely problematic for me to be like, DNF. Because a lot of
the last book I DNF'd, and I DNF'd it because it was like, it's a well-loved book and it was definitely just like a me thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, like this is going to get a horrible star rating, but like it's a me thing that I don't like this. So I'm just going to like bow out and be like, this book is just not my thing.
I recognize that. Yeah. Let's see. Mika says there is a book that is literally just the author describing his apartment in detail. A good writing style can make me like a lot, but this, there was a time when that was the writing style, and like it's really interesting to see how styles and tastes change. Like when I was reading Robin Hobb, there are certain things in there that I'm like, this does not jive with me. As I mean, we know how much I love Ship of Magic, but like this doesn't make this is not great for 2022, but for when she was writing it and the style and what she was competing with, it made sense. Still think that Eye of the World has better representation for female characters than Live Ship, but that's just me. I hate it. I hate that I'm like, this male author did a better job than a woman.
But I loved watching your rant about it.
So, anyways, I'm not gonna go there. You can watch my worst books of the year if you want more of my thoughts on that. It's got some of my thoughts, and then there's a link in the description for my full rant about that, because I could not, like, I tried to at least make the worst books spoiler free. But the wrap of it is not. So I'm pretty sure I've been blacklisted from Bethany's channel. That is probably not true, but yeah. Okay. So let us go. 3, 2, 1. Mute your mics. Oh, last sprint, by the way, I think. Maybe. We'll see how we feel. And we're back. Okie dokie. How did we do that time?
I got 42 pages.
Good.
Nice.
Ooh.
I don't think I got quite 42 pages, but I'm much further than I have been. Let's see, I got to page 59. So that was 31 pages in that one sprint.
Nice.
So, how did everyone else do?
Trucking along.
Yeah. No, sometimes that's all you can do.
I think I got about another 40 pages.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So, all right, if people in the chat want to take a few minutes to let us know where you are, I think that's gonna. I have to go to my library before they charge me $200. So,
Whoa.
Margaret!
got like 4 books apparently that are way overdue.
Ooh.
So, as long as I return them, they don't charge fines anymore. They just charge you for the book and a processing fee.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
As long as I get them back, it's fine.
Our library
Didn't you
stopped
say
doing
this like
fines.
a month ago?
Yeah, but that was only 1 book.
What?
So,
I can't. Nope.
listen, I regularly forget when I have books due. So, anyways. But, anyways, so how did everybody else do? This is interesting so far. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. Her father basically ruined her life and like her boyfriend's life over this map. So I'm excited to see like what was so special about it besides the fact that it's the only one of its kind in existence.
Mm-hmm.
Should be interesting.
But we have an interesting setup and dynamic. So Mika read 60 pages of Blood Scion, and I missed this the last time, but Rose said they give it about 50 pages before they DNF.
Mm-hmm.
That's a reasonable amount to give something.
Yeah.
So, anybody? It looks like we probably have lost everyone that's not us at this point, but that's fine. It's a Saturday afternoon. People have things to do. Most people are cooler than I am.
Yeah.
This is what I usually do on Saturdays. It's just read.
Read.
Yeah.
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 Anyways, do y'all have anything to plug going up on your channels or that's recently gone up before we head on out?
Just if you haven't watched the Goodreads challenge video that I did,
Yes.
watch the playlist, watch all of the cool people.
Mhm.
Otherwise,
What was
I
your
have all of my
category again?
Vlogmas content. What?
What was your category again?
Poetry.
Poetry. Nice.
Nice.
There's some good ones, but there's also some like not great ones.
Poetry is one of those that I feel like it's hard because it is so subjective to what you personally like in your poetry a lot of the time.
Mhm.
You know? Also, I wouldn't know where to begin to analyze poetry. I don't get it half the time.
True enough. True enough.
I like the ones that are more like that have a theme around them instead of like subjectiveness.
Mm-hmm.
See,
like
I'm more like
Amanda Lovelace's The Witch Doesn't Burn in this one. I really like that one.
yeah.
That one's a solid pick.
Yeah. I can like some of the older stuff that has a little bit more detail and story in it is a little bit easier for me to follow. Like stuff that I studied in school, but a lot of the modern stuff I'm like I feel like I'm missing something.
Yeah. I would definitely not say that I'm an expert in poetry of any kind.
I'm not at all.
No.
So, anything else we want to?
No, I just have Tuesday night sprints every Tuesday.
Okay.
Cool. And I put a review up for the first book in this series called Clean Sweep this week. Now I'm reading book 2, and you know that's just that.
I will be back here on next Saturday, same place, probably the same time. Who knows? I might mix it up. So we'll see you then. And let me, because there's 2 buttons you got to hit now. All right. Bye.